I'm so aware that it's been a while. I'm gonna tell you why, and I feel like once I go through that book of reasons, you'll understand. But I thought that today would be a fun day because it's Sunday and it's cold outside to meal prep some of my favorite food that I've already almost demolished. It is white rice with chicken thighs and this butter chicken simmer sauce that I really like. It's super quick, it's super inexpensive. This will usually last me like 7 meals, so I'll have it for lunch during my work days, but sometimes I'll also have it for dinner because it's just like one of my favorites. I did add onions in this today, but other than that, it's literally just chicken, the sauce, and rice. So I'm gonna walk you guys through that while I also update you on the goings on. Obviously, this is a new background. We will get to that, but yes, I did move. So that is one of the biggest things. Okay, let's get into it. So I think the last time that I chatted with you all, I was doing Vlogmas. Around that time, I really, when I think back to it, was so focused on training for my marathon. I do remember that time being when I rolled my ankle and was having some hip issues, and that was just like not good. As you can see here, I'm just kind of getting everything set up. What I'm basically going to do for this meal prep is cook up the chicken, shred it. These are chicken thighs, and I'm not going to cut the fat off because as much as I'm doing this to like also be healthy, I think it gives it so much better flavor. So I'm just gonna leave those like straight out the package, just give them a good go. I'm also doing white rice because it tastes better, and I'm here mostly for convenience and time saving rather than like being super healthy. So back to December, I actually quit my job. I quit my job, which was great because I really wasn't getting a ton of like PTO or holidays. And so this allowed me to actually spend like 2 weeks with my family for Christmas, which I really enjoyed. At that time, I did tell them that I was going to be moving basically across the country. I moved from Florida to New England. While I do have most of my family that I'm close to in Florida, I do have some family in New England, but the majority of the decision came from a mix of career opportunities and school opportunities. So that was when I told them. I don't think anyone was really surprised because ever since I moved back to Florida, all I've talked about is coming back north. So it really wasn't a huge shock. Right after the holidays, which were amazing, I loved it. I really got to spend a lot of time specifically with my mom, and that was really cool. And we got to bake a lot together. So I got a lot of the good family recipes, and I'm super excited to make on my own now. But anyways, after the holidays, I actually started a new job. That's why I quit my other job, so that I would have the holidays completely off before I started this new job. This job was remote, and I kind of was like looking to get into something different. This wasn't necessarily something different, but I really didn't like the company that I was working for before because I didn't really have a ton of leniency. While it was remote, I had like no time off, and I was like, as much as I would love to like go visit family, I don't want to have to work a full day and then be able to hang out with them. It was just really like frustrating, and this new company was much better for me. So I decided to go with that, and I started that at the beginning of January. That has been going great. Of course, at the end of January was my marathon. I will tell you, between when I rolled my ankle and marathon, I was stressing. I was stressing so hard. This was my first ever big race at all of any distance. And so I was really nervous that I was going to be nervous on the day of. I was training. I almost hit my peak, but because I had rolled my ankle, after that, I really, like for that month and a half, I think I ran one run that was 10 miles. Everything else was 3 or 6 because it was so incredibly uncomfortable. I ended up getting a pretty flexible ankle brace, And I was able to make it through the whole race. It was honestly such a good experience. I think I finished, so it was 2 laps, the route, and I finished the first lap. I finished the first lap and I started on the second lap, and I was already texting my sister about how I couldn't wait to do another one. It was so much fun. And as someone who trained running mostly alone, it was very fun. It was very entertaining because there was so much going on and the energy was super high and just so many people, and it was right on the beach and it was just beautiful. We got to watch the sunrise. My parents came out and supported me, and I had a lot of family supporting me just virtually watching my location. So it honestly it could not have gone any better, to be quite honest. I had only a bit of hip pain towards the end, which was that was understandable, but for the most part I just kind of kept going. And I'm gonna start crying if I think about it too much, because I'm still so extremely proud that I was able to do that. And I'll be honest, that was kind of my final hurrah in Florida. That was kind of my goodbye to really appreciate the time that I got to spend there and just how it is there. It is very different from other places. I grew up in Florida and have always kind of felt that I don't belong there, but it nonetheless is a very beautiful state, and that is something that I will always appreciate, especially after seeing it be completely destroyed, especially the areas that I lived in, by natural disasters like hurricanes. And so to really just get to appreciate that beauty while doing that was really cool. So back to the recipe. I did decide to add in some chunks of sweet onion today. So this sauce that I'm using is a little bit spicy, and it's half a pepper on the bag when it has a spice rating, but it's got a kick for me, and I also just really like onions, so I decided to chop up some sweet onions and put that in. But at this point, the rice is going. I just am gonna turn down the heat and let it steam, and the chicken's going pretty well too, so I'm just chopping those up to get those ready. So after the marathon, really my entire focus shifted to the move. I knew that I was going to be moving, and I knew where, but I didn't really have anything set in stone, because even though I made this decision back in November timeframe, I didn't want to make any permanent plans until after the new year. And even then I was okay, we're focusing on this race. We're focused on this. I don't want to have too much going on in my head. And so I really did not allow myself to think too much about it until after the race. But after the race, it was go time. I was looking at apartments. I was booking hotels for while I toured apartments. I was booking my U-Haul. I was making sure my car was ready to go. I was doing all of the things. And so that really took up a lot of my time. And then on the weekends, I was almost always with my family or my friends and all the people that lived there that I knew I wasn't really going to see for a while. But yeah, really most of my time during the weeks just went to moving, and that worked out really well. I mean, I was packed and ready to go, and on move out date, everything went super smoothly. I had a few issues with my apartment complex, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of figured that was coming because they were terrible moving in. The office management was just not, I don't even know what they're doing, but what else is new? So I moved out, I got everything in the U-Haul, and we started the trek up north, and honestly, the drive was so beautiful. It was amazing. I got to New York, and we drove through New York, and it started snowing, just flurries, but it was just, I wanted to cry. It was so beautiful. I did drive mostly at night, so I didn't get to see too much of the scenery, but I still got to see a lot of it, especially the stuff that I really truly missed, which was up north. So now I am here. I spent a couple weeks in a hotel and I really enjoyed it. If you follow me on TikTok, you probably saw a couple of videos from while I was in there. I really just booked that so that I had time to tour apartments, which I'm really glad I did, because the ones that I thought I was gonna love, I did not. So I ended up getting an apartment and I moved, and that all happened in the 2-week time frame that I had booked the hotel for. So it worked out absolutely perfectly. Like, I could not have planned it better myself. At this point, I, am moved in. I have a few things that I'm kind of working on around the apartment. I do need to buy a couch, so that's going to be quite the adventure. I have decided that I am also going to be starting Project Pan because, I have open shelving in my bathroom and I hate looking at all of it. This is a thing that I kind of started a couple years ago where I'm just not allowed to buy anything. But now I'm really forcing myself to use the products because I really don't. I don't wear a ton of makeup and stuff like that because I work from home. So now I'm just kind of trying to have fun with it and be more aware of, am I even using this? And if not, just get rid of it. So I did start Project Pan. I've been crocheting a ton. Oh my gosh. I have been majorly working on a blanket for my best friend's son. He's basically my nephew, and his birthday's in a couple days, and they just moved to a new house. So the colors for his bedroom is gonna be his blanket, and I'm very excited for that. And really, other than that, oh my gosh, I've been reading. This morning I spent finishing the Sunrise on the Reaping book. Anyways, if you need me on that, I'm going to be over on TikTok watching edits, like every single edit I can get my hands on. Never mind, we're not going to get into that today. But anyways, if you know, that was like, it's just, the final missing piece. We had the really olden days and we had modern times, and now we kind of get the middle, and I thought it was such a good book. I've been reading a lot of, I guess, more socially loud books, including dystopian books, and some of them have really, I had to take a breather after, but in a really good way. A lot of books that have made me think. So I've been really grateful to have a lot of extra time while on this move where, I'm stuck in a hotel and all I have is a book and some crochet, and it has actually been so relaxing. I went on my first run since the race. I ran a couple days after the race because I was getting antsy. But since then, I haven't run because I've been so focused on everything else. I ran yesterday, just 2 miles, and it felt really good. And I'm really excited to start running up here where the scenery, the landscape is so different. The elevation is really challenging, and I'm excited to start sharing more of my life with you guys as well. And so if you want to keep seeing more of this content, I do plan on doing grocery hauls and meal prep and cooking and all that fun stuff, but also just everything else that I end up getting up to. Right now I am reading Life on Svalbard, Cecilia's book, and I am so excited for it. Love her as a creator. She is such a happy, joyful person that I honestly aspire to be. So that's really all I had for you guys today. I really enjoyed sharing this with you and spending time with you, chatting with you, catching you up on my goings on. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.